Hi, warriors. Welcome to Yours, Mine, and Ours Money and Our Relationships. Thank you for joining me today and for the rest of the week. And let me just give you a little review of what's going to be happening. You're going to have a recorded video today. You'll have a poll you can take on Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll have another recorded video. Thursday, you'll be able to take a money script inventory assessment. And Friday, we're going to be live at 11 a.m. to kind of discuss everything we've talked about all week and see if you have any questions and just have a little bit of fun. So, we're going to be talking about money and how it affects us and our relationships, and how we all have money scripts, which are those inner beliefs about money. So let's get started. And but before we get started, I want to ask everyone to get a piece of paper and a pen, or just open a Word document, because there's probably going to be something that you want to write down, or you'll have a revelation and think, wow, I need to do this. Or maybe I haven't thought about that, because we're going to have some discussions, or I'm going to provide some information about just money behaviors. So let's talk about how money affects us emotionally. Money can be a very emotional part of our lives, because of what it means to us and our families and our friends. Money can be a source of power in any relationship. Money can be equated to love. That doesn't necessarily mean money equals love, but it can be equated to it or tied to it. No matter what anybody says, we all know that money can buy some happiness and security. Money is needed to meet our basic needs. That's why it's so emotional. Our basic needs, like food, water, and shelter, we need money to provide us with those things. And we need money to provide us with our wants. And sometimes we get attached to our wants. Let's face it, we're better off than most of the world. So, money can bring us independence and can give all of us individuals power. Money, with all of the emotion tied to it, can also cause conflicts. It can cause conflicts in couples. How many of us have been in a relationship or had a partner that money was a problem, or there was conflict in the relationship because of that? It can cause conflicts between siblings, as children, and siblings as adults. And if you don't have siblings, perhaps even a close friend or other relatives, it can cause problems with parents, parents with their adult children dealing with parents. It can also cause problems between friends. So think about any time you might have. I've known people who've loaned money to friends and they never got it back. That was definitely a source of conflict. Think about with parents. Maybe you have enabled a parent, or maybe you've enabled a child. Think about the conflicts between siblings as a teenager. You definitely probably had some money conflicts with your parent, or you may have teenagers that you have conflicts with. What about as a young child? Does anybody remember ever arguing over a toy with a sibling or a close friend? Or maybe feeling resentful because someone had what you didn't have? Those emotions that are tied to money, because it is so powerful, create the conflicts. So, in addition, it's our money behaviors, which are our money beliefs, that can create the conflicts when people have different beliefs. So let's go a little deeper into each of these conflict areas. Money conflicts in couples. Money conflict is worse than fights about any other topics. Let me state that again. Money conflict is worse than fights about other topics. So, finances are common argument starters. The argument may be about something else: how you're going to decorate, what you're going to spend your money on, where you're going to go on vacation. But the underlying factor has to do with money. Finances creates tension between couples, and then that leads to other arguments and spending less time together. And we all know that's not healthy. Fights about money usually last longer and are more intense. And money conflicts are the top reason for divorce. As a matter of fact, Ameritrade did a survey study, I believe it was in 2018, that 41% of divorced Generation Xers and 29% of boomers said they ended their marriages because of disagreements about money. So that does create a lot of problems. What about money conflicts with siblings? Well, as children, and as children are developing, they are establishing their independence. Money and the values around that a child sees can be carried on to their relationship with their siblings or other children. And those are for those one child families. So, what the children are seeing, how the parent handles money, is going to be carried on into how they handle their relationship with money and how they value money and their behaviors. Many times, those money conflicts children have will be carried on over into their adulthood. Or I should say, most of the time, that money conflict will be carried over. During your childhood years is when you establish your money behaviors. And then as adults, one or more siblings hasn't done as financially well as other siblings. So that can create tension, create problems, create an imbalance. One sibling may feel more powerful than the other. One sibling may resent the other. When siblings do fight about money as adults, Ameriprise also found that parents are at the center of the conflict 68% of the time. That's a big amount of time. So, what about those money conflicts with parents? That can cause problems for both the parent and the adult child. There can be two different roles. The parent can be the enabler and the child can be the dependent, or the child, and I'm speaking specifically adult child, can be an enabler and the parent can be a dependent. And what that does is create feelings of resentment toward each other. It can also financially devastate the enabler, whether it's the parent or the child. It can create guilt for both the enabler and the dependent. And it also creates anger. That money sure is powerful. And it's about just our feelings toward it and how we view money and what we learned as a child. So, how do we deal with money conflicts, or what about money conflicts with friends? We'll talk about how we deal with it later, but that can cause high anxiety. Many of us have friends from elementary school, high school, even college, and perhaps we may have taken different paths. We may have different income levels. Has anybody ever loaned money to a friend and didn't get it back? Has anybody ever wanted to go on vacation with a friend and there was a disparity between the income levels? It can create tension. Sometimes it can sever relationships. What if you loan money to a friend and they never paid you back? It can also be very awkward. Let's watch this quick video to show how awkward it can be. We may have all been faced in this situation.
Do I dare ask?
Yes, I'll start with the carpaccio and then I'll have the grilled prawns.
That sounds great. Same for me. And for the gentleman?
Yeah, I'll have the Thai chicken pizza. But hey, look, if I get it without the nuts and leeks and stuff, is it cheaper?
You'd think, wouldn't you? Miss?
Okay, I will have the side salad.
And what would that be on the side of?
I don't know. Why don't you just put it right here next to my water?
And for you?
I'm going to have a cup of the cucumber soup and
Take care.
I will have the Cajun catfish.
Anything else?
Yes, how about a verse of Killing Me Softly? You're going to sneeze on my fish, aren't you? Whoa! Does anybody else feel like they just gave birth to an alien?
Yes. No.
Okay, plus tip divided by 6. And everyone owes $28.
Everyone?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Thank you. It's Monica's big night. She shouldn't pay.
Oh, thank you.
So 5 of us is $33.50 apiece.
No, no way. Sorry, not going to happen.
Whoa, prom night flashback.
sorry, Monica, I'm really happy you got promoted, but cold cucumber mush for 30-something bucks? No. Rachel just had that little salad and Joey with his like teeny pizza. It's just
Okay, Phoebe. Shh. How about we'll each just pay for what we had, okay? It's no big deal.
not for you.
Do I dare?
So, yes, it's very awkward. I've been in that situation with friends or with family. So, we're not alone. Money conflicts in any relation are very common. Hard to talk about money. Matters of finance can cause problems. Remember, in couples, it's the leading cause of divorce. It can sever relationships with siblings, with friends. How many have either experienced or know someone who has experienced a severed relationship because of money, because of decisions that were made by different parties? So let's go a little bit more into in depth of why that causes so much problems. Well, remember, money is powerful. It gives us independence. It provides for our basic needs. And we can compare ourselves to others based on what we own, what we have, or how much we make or save. We all have different values around money. And then these values have determined our money patterns and behaviors. And so since we all have different values, we have different money patterns and behaviors. We develop these values and those behaviors from childhood. We develop the values from the people that's influenced us, the people that surrounded us, our parents, our grandparents, and others. And even if we're in the same family, I grew up in a family of 5 children, and we all have different values. Some of it's very similar, but each of us are influenced by someone else. Those values and behaviors that we saw and heard as individuals from our family of origin, maybe we heard arguments about money. Maybe we witnessed somebody struggling with money. Maybe we experienced a job loss or debt, or we heard that we couldn't afford things all the time. So those memories establish our values about money, how we feel about money. Because money is a part of our lives. Susie Orman says, there isn't a part of our lives that money doesn't touch. It affects our relationships, the way we go about our everyday activities, our ability to make dreams our reality, everything. So money touches us. We have values, our own personal values about money based on our childhood, and those values will determine our money patterns and behaviors. And why we have money conflicts is because we have different values and we have different behaviors associated with money. So let's talk a little bit more about those values, beliefs, and behaviors. 2 individuals were financial psychologists, Dr. Brad Klontz and Dr. Ted Klontz, actually father and son, coined the phrase money script in 2005. And they did extensive research to be able to coin that phrase and to develop a money script and how these scripts affect our behaviors. And these scripts, those inner beliefs that we have about money, can determine our behaviors. It can also be very damaging, especially if they're well ground into our psyche, our subconscious. They can be very damaging for ourselves and our relationships. We can be out of balance with that. So there are 4 money scripts, and these are your unconscious, developed in childhood, passed down from generation to generation. But keep in mind, siblings may have different money scripts, and that's passed down within families and cultures. And it's often only partial truths. Money scripts can hold us hostage at times. It can control our lives. And I personally have seen money scripts destroy individuals and relationships. Money scripts can lead to self-sabotaging behaviors. Something like a money disorder of hoarding, a money disorder of gambling or overspending or overworking. So what are those money scripts that the Klontzes identified? Well, there are 4, as I mentioned. And I'll briefly go through those 4 and give you just a brief summary, because tomorrow you're going to take a poll to guess which one you think you have as your predominant money script, because we all have a little bit of each one. money worship. And these are in no particular order. Money buys freedom. That's the belief you have if you have this money script. Money buys freedom. More money always makes you happier. Money avoidance. Your belief is the rich are greedy. It's not okay to have more than you need. We'll dive deeper into more characteristics of each of these money scripts tomorrow. Money status. My net worth is my self-worth. That's what a money status individual believes, or someone who has predominant characteristics of that money script. You should only want new things. And then lastly, money vigilance. For money vigilance, money is a private matter, and their belief is it's extravagant to spend on yourself. You can find out your own money script on Thursday when I post the Klontz money script inventory. But tomorrow, we're just going to be guessing your money script. And then on Wednesday, we're going to dive further into more characteristics of each of these money scripts. And on Friday, we're going to discuss that, what your score is, and how you can rewrite your script. So check back on Wednesday for the next recorded video. Look for the poll on Tuesday. Look for the inventory on Thursday. And on Friday at 11 a.m., join me on Workplace Live. I'll be posting the link so we can all join together and have a little fun. Thank you for joining me today.